your butt over there and take a look. It's a new site. We've got the world famous pecker page going on there. We also, Miss Alexia has been really wonderful about posting photos as soon as they come in.
As soon as I find photos of you fine ladies, because I have to go search them out.
Because sometimes other people post them,
right.
You know. So, but we want new content, new photos for you guys to see every time you go on there. And yay, Alexia, you're doing an awesome job at doing that for us.
I do have several penis pictures to add to the pecker page.
I was on penis overload.
I
this
believe
week.
you sent me 6 this week.
I know it was penis overload on my
yeah,
my
and
computer.
I know Mama has a bunch she hasn't sent me yet.
I have a whole bunch.
Yeah,
yeah. I just get worried because I get the photo. You know, I'm not real tech savvy, but I know how to save it to my desktop. Okay,
right.
Then I email you, and I'm like so worried that I'm gonna forget to take one off my desktop, and my little desktop, and my little guy's gonna be like, "Mommy, Grandma, can I play PBS Kids?" And there's a big cock on my desktop. Okay,
can you put it in a folder on your desktop instead?
You know what? I just right after I send them to you, I delete them.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's what I'm doing. But you know what? We're getting some very beautiful penises.
Yes, we are.
Yeah.
And huge. Why is it the majority of the penises we have on the pecker page are freaking huge?
Well, I think that every Middle Eastern man has a huge penis now because
except for the one guy. Except for the one guy at the very beginning of our list.
Little donkey penis.
But it's okay. I mean,
okay.
it's okay.
You had a donkey penis?
Well, I meant donkey.
Dinky?
Dinky. Yeah, I don't know why I said donkey. It just came out. Donkey. It's a little penis. But you guys, this is no lie. About a month ago, posted on my Sweet Cheeks page, and I don't know if any else of you have got it on your show name pages. There was a video of a girl literally on all fours letting a dog fuck her. Okay,
on Facebook.
On Facebook.
Oh, so it was there for a little while until somebody.
Well, I mean, I watched it because, and you could tell it was like her husband that took the picture because she like turned around, and so you got a picture of the dog on the back, like it was. I was fascinated because I couldn't believe it, but on the other hand, I was like really grossed out, you know. But yeah, they posted it on my face. I mean, I took removed that from my page right away, so I don't even think we could find it anymore. But yeah, I don't know why people send that stuff. Or why do people send pussy pictures and penis pictures on Facebook?
Or you mean post them?
Post them. Yeah, send them private mail is a different thing.
Because they're testing it and then they'll get yanked.
Yeah.
Now, Facebook is doing a huge cleanup right now because I believe they're going to be changing things again. And there are a lot of pages that I follow for the little funny posts that they put up.
Right.
And some of them are hardcore, downright insulting hardcore, but I look at them anyway. And and those guys are really careful about not posting breast pictures or pussy pictures or anything. Maybe some ass, but other than that. But they're cleaning those out, too. A lot of those are getting cleaned out as well.
Well, and on my Sweet Cheeks page, I know you've had them, too, Mama, where their profile picture is a penis.
Yes.
Yeah, and that's not quite a good thing.
Right, and those go away pretty fast.
Yeah.
So that's why a lot of people don't see all of them, you know? Because as soon as you get tagged in one, you guys, it's been happened to you guys before.
I got tagged for my butt picture from our photo shoot. Yeah. And I was like, I'm really not.
You had panties on and everything.
I'm really not even showing nothing. It was just my butt cheeks, but I had my thong on. But I guess.
I don't know. I got a new trial starting Monday. Woo-hoo!
What do you got Monday?
George Zimmerman officially started.
That's right.
But listen to this. The jury is all women.
6 women.
6 women on
Six
the
women.
jury.
There's 12 in a jury.
No. In Florida, on this kind of a case, it's only 6 jurors and a couple alternates. So
they have 4 alternates, 2 males and 2 females.
Right, on the alternates.
And what's
but
the
racial,
main course? What's the racial division? Because this is a racial case.
Right. I think there's 1 black, 1 mixed race as far as like black and something else, and a Hispanic, I think.
Yeah, I think I've heard mixed reviews. My personal opinion on this from the get-go is that because it's an all-woman jury, he's done.
No, now see
I'm going to tell you why I think so.
Because the mommy thing, and
it's not just the mommy thing. Women have a tendency to be adverse to violence. They want to avoid violence at all costs. Now, when you're instructed to walk away, and yet you continue to follow, no matter how discreet, a woman's going to look at that as you were looking for trouble.
Not this woman. Here's what I say. I say that George Zimmerman did not wake up that morning and say, let me go find somebody to shoot.
No, he didn't wake up.
No, he didn't.
No, he
and
didn't,
you know what?
But
and you know what? And he said to himself that he thought the boy was a lot older. And I'm not taking sides at this point. I am just not going to put a guilt trip on George Zimmerman right now like everybody else has done. They've called him a racist. They've called him, they've really ruined his life. And, maybe after I hear this trial, I'm going to say he was a racist and, I don't know.
See,
but I know the man.
I don't even think about him being racist. I'm irritated because he's that mall cop that couldn't make it in the police department, so he's out there with the Boy Scout.
You know what? I think that you're making assumptions about somebody that you don't know what he's really like. And I don't think that it's right to make that's the problem with America. They've all made assumptions about George Zimmerman.
And
you know what? He very well could be the victim.
If the police told me to turn around and walk away, we got this. I'm gonna follow
instructions. We
have
not heard Zimmerman say what he saw when they said that. I mean, this boy was running through people's yards.
He did give a deposition when he first he first was taken in.
Well, and there is on Headline News, on CNN Headline News, a couple of days after the event, he walked people through the event. There's also another video with the neighbor whose front yard this whole thing took place in. There's also this situation where there's a tape that no expert can determine whether it's a Trayvon's voice or Zimmerman's voice. Help me.
Right.
So, it's a 911 call. But, so the judge, this is huge, the judge has decided yesterday on Saturday, she's not going to allow any testimony from the experts, because you've got two different experts saying two different things, so it's a wash. But she is going to allow testimony from Trayvon's mother that's my son. Here's the kicker in that: when Trayvon's father first heard the tape, he said, no, that's not my son. Month later, he said, I'm pretty sure that's my son.
Wow.
So that's going to come back to bite him in the ass right there. And that right there is why people say that they think Zimmerman's good. But I don't know. I'm really interested to listen to this whole case because it really is one I don't have a pre.
Do you think that the public at large is going to be satisfied with how this trial is run and whatever decision that comes out from it?
I think the judge on this is very much in control. She is from what I've seen, she's very on it. Now, we go back to the O.J. Simpson trial where that Judge Ito just let willy-nilly happen in the courtroom. This lady seems to be very, very on it. So here's what I think. I think that most of America has already judged George Zimmerman.
You're right.
And I think that if we have a situation where he is, not guilty of first-degree murder, he's not up for first-degree murder or second-degree manslaughter. If they decide that, it was a, what is that, protecting yourself or what, self-defense. I think that we're going to have
ground law.
Yes, we're going to have outrage like we did in the Casey Anthony case. They
didn't take to the streets rioting in the Casey Anthony.
But they were ugly. But I really think that it is going to be a big racial issue if George Zimmerman doesn't go to jail. And I think it's very sad.
I think it's a racial issue already.
It is.
Before we even start.
You're absolutely right.
It was when we heard the story.
Right. And from day one, it was George Zimmerman killed the young black man.
Yeah.
And he's a racist. And before George Zimmerman even opened his mouth.
Right.
And I don't think that's right. I think you shouldn't judge somebody unless you hear the facts.
All right, DJ, uninterrupted, go.
No, I'm okay. I agree. I've already made up my mind on this, and the stand.
So you are one of the majority of the public who's already made up his mind.
I have.
You're not in the case of the race or nothing like that.
No.
He's saying that him shooting him when he was told to stop and
I had the legal right and opportunity to shoot someone on my property. Mama was there, and I exercised better judgment as a responsible gun owner. I wasn't scared. I wasn't upset. Didn't have the shakes. But as a law-abiding citizen, I had my right, and I used better judgment. Better judgment means get my family safe, make sure everyone's secure. This guy was instructed by the police, not dispute it, back off. He took it upon himself to ignore their instructions. And as a result, a young man died.
No, he's fine. He's fine.
I agree. I absolutely 100% agree that he didn't listen.
Else, to me, nothing else in that even is even relevant.
Well, because you know what? It's
does,
really
because what we don't know exactly what happened after he got off the phone with the police, because he didn't stay on the phone the whole time. He followed Trayvon as Trayvon was leaving. Right? That's according to the story.
Someone followed me. I would have a problem.
I understand that, but we don't know for sure what happened after Zimmerman got off the phone and then the kid was shot. We don't know what happened between that time.
And that's why we have to hear.
As far as racial profiling, yes and no, because I've been there, done that. I'm very grateful that I got older, because as a young man, it was very, very, very common for me to get pulled over 4 to 9 times a month.
Right.
Because my brake light was out or my turn signal wasn't working. Oh, your license plate is coming up as a.
You had some of those when we first got together as well.
But listen to what you're saying. You are saying that you were a victim of exactly what George Zimmerman is. What everybody attacking him, saying he was a racist.
No, I'm saying
he's taking on the Trayvon Martin. This is a young black punk kid.
As I got older, that went away. But when I was younger, I am a law-abiding citizen. I pay my taxes. I work hard, and despite all that, because I drove a crappy car and didn't live in the right neighborhood, it was like privilege was being taken upon to pull me over to see what I was doing.
I understand that. Now, but I do want to say this, that in that neighborhood, there had been several break-ins in the past 6 months, all of which were done by young black men.
Right.
So you know what? I mean, it would put my radar up if I seen a young black man going through the yards of people's houses. Okay, so I think I agree with DJ that he should, when he was told to back down, he should have backed down.
Right.
But I also know this: we don't know what happened,
and
Texas. That's why I want to hear testimony from the experts, the forensic people,
the witnesses,
everything.
If this was Texas, my attitude might be a little bit different. But it's not.
Why is that?
Oh, because in the state of Texas, you are allowed to protect your neighbor's property with deadly force. There was, I remember.
But that has nothing to do with what we're talking about.
Yes.
So.
But yeah, but this is not.
No, we were talking about the whole racial profiling thing. That's something that you went through when you were younger. I don't even know that you're black right now. I swear to God.
don't either.
But
no,
it's
a lot
something
of
that
people all the time say, "What the fuck are you, dude?"
We know that racial profiling still happens today. Right. It still happens today, all the time. Ryland's going to have to deal with it in the future.
Oh, you're
right.
Not,
if he hasn't dealt with it already today.
Right.
You know? And it's something that it exists, and everybody is guilty of it. Paula Deen. Let's talk about Paula Deen in the news.
You know what?
I think they're blowing it out of proportion.
Yeah. Wait.
Yeah, this is a contradiction of your.
No.
I'm disgusted by Paula Deen.
No. I get the disgust. And there's a difference between profiling. If you're raised believing that a dog is not a dog, but it's a cat, you grow up calling it a cat. I had a situation when I was in the Navy. No.
He's absolutely right. My grandmother.
When I was in the Navy, I had a true life situation.
I don't agree.
Okay, that's wonderful.
Wait, no, I want to talk about Southern. True
life situation. This happened to me when I was in the Navy. I'm not going to say his name. I still remember his name. Nice guy, bottle cap glasses, as Southern as you can get. You know, I'm a young black man. Well, mixed, but I looked more black back then. Had a nice little flat top with nappy hair, but I listened to heavy metal back then. And my first experience of racism was in the military, because when we all worked together just fine. But once work was over, it was, yo, man, you a brother. You ain't supposed to listen to that shit. And the white dudes are like, go hang with your own kind. Because the black guys were from the big southern cities, and the white dudes were from the small cities.
And we're talking 20 years ago, DJ.
Yes, yeah, but still, this one dude, I'm getting ready. We're coming back from Desert Shield, Desert Storm, ready to go on vacation, on leave, and I'm staying on the ship. And this one dude says, you know, Sanders, you're the coolest nigger I ever did meet. I would take you home with me to meet my family, but I'm afraid they might string you up. Now, the guy used the N-word. Yes, he did, but he did not mean it in an insulting way. He was just using the only verbiage that he ever knew growing up.
Exactly. I want to make this point about Southern people. Okay, first of all, Paula Deen is in her 60s, okay? My grandmother, my dad's side of the family is from a little town called Hickman, Kentucky, okay? And and it's right on the Kentucky-Tennessee border. But they never thought a word about using the N-word. Never. My grandmother would say, you know, oh, yeah, I got that little nigger woman coming to my house every week. She cleans my house. She does such a good job. I always give her a nice tip. But it was just, that's just how it was said. Okay, there was never, you know, as
derogatoriness.
No, she didn't say it as a mean thing.
I need you to point that camera on me,
goddammit. It's some of them in that age group, it's how they were brought up.
Okay. I'm going to give you, if Paula Deen was a 60-year-old fucking woman baking cookies and butter biscuits in her kitchen in Hicktown, Alabama or something like that, that'd be fine. But she is a woman on national fucking TV taking on the mantle of Queen of Southern Cooking.
But this happened in the South in her restaurant and happened several years ago.
It also happened when she was on the media road. When she was doing stuff because she wanted to get famous, she was writing books, she was doing all that stuff. You take on the mantle of responsibility if you're going to be in the media.
Fair.
Okay? And she is not a woman that's stupid. She's an educated woman, so she knows that it's not right going around calling people the N-word. Okay, right. She knows that is not politically acceptable.
But it's not. Let me ask you this, just to clarify the story.
Okay.
Was it something that was done constantly, or was it something that was done?
She owned a restaurant,
right?
And she racially abused, always using racial epithets when it came to her.
Okay, so it was a common
thing, right?
Okay.
Employees.
Okay.
And the big
You're
thing
right.
was
I don't think it should.
She
be like
wanted
that.
to have a plantation wedding where they were black servants as they were.
I looked all over the internet for the article on the plantation wedding, and I could not find it because a friend told me about it. So where did you get that information?
You can go to Time Magazine has an article on it.
Because I did do a search and I couldn't find it. Okay.
Well, it's not an article by itself.
Who was the plantation wedding for? Herself?
I don't know who it was for, but it was through the restaurant.
See, I don't think there's anything wrong with a plantation wedding. Somebody wants to have a Gone with the Wind wedding in the South and make it authentic, then you know what? You're going to put a lot of young black gentlemen get a job for the day. What's wrong with that?
It's like making a movie. It's like making a movie.
Exactly.
To me, it's like making a movie.
I agree, Mama.
But that's making a movie. They're
actors, but they would still get paid. And it would be like playing a part.
You know what? It's like somebody that wants fake Elvis to marry them. It's trying to be authentic Vegas.
Okay, so this is my problem. This is why I'm a huge fan of political correctness. Okay, if you are not progressing, if you don't know better than your parents when you get older, if you're still stuck in that same mode of thought, if you learn from your parents the only way to call black people is to say the word nigger.
You're right. I agree.
And you go and you join the military. Come on now. You become a little bit more worldly. You know that's probably not the best thing to call them. You need to change that.
That's right.
Right.
I agree.
If I were still stuck with my mom the only thing I would be doing on the internet is shopping. Right.
And the guy in the military, he never, ever, ever, ever used that word anywhere else. What it was we were just hanging
by yourself.
We are by ourselves, and he never used it before or after. It was just he had gotten to such a comfort level that he felt like he was at home on his front porch talking to a friend, and it just kind of slipped out. And I don't know all the facts about Paula Deen right now, and it's my understanding that she was hanging with some folks and talking. And now, on your point of view, she is a role model, so therefore, she is to be held more accountable than the average citizen, because when you are a person of influence, you are judged a lot harsher. You are now a role model.
She's been judged so harshly that the Food Network will not continue her contract.
Well, her contract was up the end of August anyway.
And they are not going to renew
it. But one of the media outlets I was watching had made a suggestion that her two sons are chefs also, and also have their own show on the Food Network, and that's going to continue. That she needs to step down, make it the Deen family restaurant, and get her name off of everything at this point. But,
and she, I think what pissed a lot of people off is she put out 3 apologies.
Right.
And none of them, a lot of people feel that none of them were sincere. She's sorry that you found out about what happened, not about what happened, or what she said, or how she used it.
You know what?
Now, don't get me wrong. My mom is one of the most prejudiced. My mom, a Thai woman, A small, little, tiny woman from Thailand is one of the most prejudiced people I have ever met. Okay? And I listen to her when she talks and she uses her racial epithets, and it's especially worse when it comes to other Asians.
That's funny.
I don't know what it is about Asians and other Asians. And all of them are like that.
Oh, yes.
And every single time I have to tell her, Mom, you should not, because you do get in a habit at home of talking like that. And one of these days you're going to find yourself out in public where you're going to keep talking like that. And you're going to get yourself in trouble. Now, my mom is a little stay-at-home, mom. She works where she works, and she's got nothing nice to say about the people that she works with either. But my mom is like a right-wing conservative. I swear to God, right? But I have to tell her, Mom, you have to, you can't think like that. That's just not the right way to think. I have progressed from my mom's generation, and every generation needs to progress. And then if I'm going to put myself up in the media spotlight for young people to look to me for advice, then I'm definitely not going to have the stereotypes that our generation has now. I'm going to try to make myself better so the younger people coming up will know better.
Well, that's like with us, with DJ being mixed and the family being mixed. There's a really big mixture in the family.
I love it's Rainbow Family.
Yes.
I love Rainbow Family.
And
to the extreme.
I love it.
One of the girls, our daughters, I had got her hair braided when she was 7 or 8, maybe
5, 6, 6, 7.
whatever.
Yeah.
Okay, somewhere right there.
Yeah.
Okay, she went back to elementary school then at the time, and her hair was really cute, and it was just cornrows to the back, and then it had like the little clips on it, and it was so cute. And she went to school, and one of the little kids said that she was trying to act black. And she came home and she was like devastated. I need to take my hair out because they're saying I'm trying to act black. And we're like, we're looking at each other like, how do we talk about this? Because we don't ever really talk about color. And, it's like, well, honey, you are. And she goes, I am? I said, well, yeah, because Grandpa and Daddy,
she's like, what color is Grandpa? Black. And whose daddy is he? My dad's. So that makes you Dad? I'm black. But you know what? In my household,
so we never talked about that. So she never even
Even now, we don't talk. My dad, my parents, it's just the way they raised us. We don't talk about rationality, and even my kids. I teach my children to see with the eyes of a blind man. If you close your eyes and you're talking to somebody, is this somebody you can hang with? Right. If the answer is yes, color, creed.
Do you regret not having had the talk before she started integrating in society, at schools and stuff like that? Where she could run into that?
I don't think, you know what, I think life is life, and I don't think you need to
point
out you're different than some of the kids.
Some things you have to roll with them as you go. And if you stress them out about, you might not fit in here, or, this is what you are, and then they have to identify themselves with those, like how DJ was in the military and how he says, he was too white for the black guys and he was too black for the white guys. He didn't
I was like, who the fuck am I supposed to date?
Well, it was funny because I tell you, I always have kids in the back of my car, and one day somebody said, I don't even know how it started, but my little guy got like all indignant and he said, well, my mommy's white and my daddy's black, and that's why I'm brown.
So I'm half adopted. Well, I'm adopted. My dad adopted me. My mom is my real mom. My sister and brother are very dark skinned because my dad is Puerto Rican.
Okay.
And he's one of those Brooklyn Puerto Ricans, so he's very very black skin. And so my brother and sister are very dark skinned. And growing up, I did not know I was adopted. So growing up, it was like, I took after mommy and they took after daddy.
That worked out okay.
I actually have a client that has four children, and she is mixed, so she's this yellow color like DJ is. She has
yellow man shall not inherit the earth.
Whatever. She has one that is very super white with wavy hair. She's got 2 medium colored kids, and she's got one that didn't even come after her at all, because she looks just like the daddy is black, and that little girl looks, black hair, black. And so she takes them, when she takes them all with her, they're all saying mom to her. They're like, because they all, I swear, are totally different looks and how they look as
That's
kids.
I had a friend.
Totally look. I have to show you their pictures because it's amazing.
Maybe we should start labeling people like we label toast: light and dark, and that's a 3, and that's a 4, and that's a 6.
Have you seen the stink that they're making right now?
There's a study of the kids.
Of the mixed couples, the mixed families.
Because of the Cheerios.
Because of the Cheerios commercial. They have a new website about the 15%.
And did you see that little thing on Facebook where the little girl says, all the shit going on in the world, and you guys are mad because my parents don't match?
Right.
And that's the God's honest
My
truth.
favorite one, I think I posted it for Wendy. It's the little little girl with the Cheerios, and she's talking to the mommy, and then she goes to go leave the cereal on her other mommy. Who's black.
That's
white mommy,
cute.
black mommy.
Yeah. You know what? I just think in this day and age, people are having a problem with that being on TV.
I say it's about fucking time.
Because
they should have been doing this years ago.
You know why? It's because of people like fucking Paula Deen. Because of that mindset that they still have that things shouldn't be right.
Well, I say it's about fucking time, because
I agree.
There's so many people that we know that are mixed, that are 30s, 40s, 50s, right there and on down, that they see all the time.
I'm glad that I have a mixed grandson in this day and age, because it's a lot easier for him than if my daughter would have been mixed. Right. You know what I mean? I mean, a 23-year difference is big.
Wendy of Neverland says, I actually ate at Paula Deen's, the Lady and Sons restaurant in Savannah, about 7 years ago. She wasn't there. All I remember is the grits and shrimp was real good, and it took 75 minutes to get a table.
Holy crap.
Yeah, they say her restaurants are awesome.
Well, you look at her cooking, and it looks great, right?
Well, they showed something on the news today, I think it was, that the people were lining up outside to show their
support. That's good.
She probably employs a hell of a lot of people down there, too.
And then Vendetta says, I think it's an age thing. I had a professor last semester who was kind of racist, but super old. So
you're right. It is a progression of age.
It is a progression. I mean, my own grandmother. My dad has a funny story about when my mom and my dad first got together, and she was walking around the house. She was looking for something with my dad, and they just couldn't find it. And she was just scratching her head. She goes, "Well, there's got to be a nigger in the woodpile somewhere." And then she paused and said, "Oh," and realized my dad was there. Like, "Oh my gosh, what did I just say? What did I just say?" And my dad just kind of brushed it off, but. My grandmother is the least prejudiced person you'll ever meet. However, it's just the verbiage that she grew up with.
Right. But wait, I don't mean to change the subject, but you're just talking about your dad and your grandma's story. And remember when the first time that we went camping, your dad's story? Remember what happened with your dad?
Which one?
We were trying to fix something. So my sister is gay, and the girlfriend locks the keys in the car. Well, his dad is a locksmith.
One of those really hard to get into Mercedes.
Which is what I want to end on is the gay question.
So we're down by the car, and it's me, my sister, her girlfriend, and his dad. And DJ was up at the camp. And so his dad looks at me and says, "Go get me a pair of dikes."
Go ask DJ for a pair of dikes.
So I'm kind of puzzled, and I go to TJ, and I'm like, "Your dad just asked me for a pair of dikes, and he already has one up there. So what do I do now?"
So you did not know that it was a type of tool,
right? I didn't realize that's what he was asking me for. I'm like, "You got a pair up there.
What
does he need more?"
My dad didn't know nothing about the gay lesbian community.
But it is a tool, and it is a thing that a little kid in Norway will stick his finger in. So. That's fine. But let's talk about I wanted to talk about, and we should probably take a break and find out if the Platinum and Desiree are going to call in. But let's talk about the gay marriage thing right now, right? There are a lot of people that are against it. That's why there's so much arguing about this question right now.
I don't know who's against it. All of the surveys,
Republicans.
All the polls are showing.
All the polls
are plus 50%.
Of young people. It's like 87% of all young people, those born...
Nationally, though, when they polled everybody, it's 52% to 48%.
You know what? The exact percentage that voted for President Obama. I mean, really.
So, I mean, this is called the progression of age. The young people of today, they don't care about your religion.
I'm saying,
they don't care about your sexual orientation, and the race thing is still an iffy because it's visual right here.
You know what?
You can see it right here, right?
Let me just real quick talk about, like, I've seen my own parents go through the progression of where they are now. Now, my parents are 71 years old. Mm-hmm. I can remember when I was a little girl, 8 or 9, or no, I take that back. When I got to be a teenager, my mother discovered I had an interest in black boys. And her line, I said, you never taught me to be prejudiced. Well, I didn't teach you to date them either. Okay. Well, over the years, she's realized that I do date them. She's met some of the guys I've gone out with. Now her great-grandson is black. And it so doesn't matter anymore. The same thing with the gay marriage thing. And she was brought up strict Catholic. And so it's nice to see that people that age can progress.
Yes, you're absolutely right. Wendy makes a great point, which bounces off of what you said about changing, right? Uh-huh. Wendy says, I remember my grandmother saying once, I don't know why they have a Martin Luther King Day. He never did anything for me. So said the old lady from Kentucky. And it's true. Unless it touches your life, a lot of people, unless you have a gay daughter, like...
or a mixed grandson.
Or anything like that, you're...
Well, because you don't have to face it.
I was 13 years old when I found out my favorite uncle was gay. And he stopped being my favorite uncle.
Because he was gay?
For about 30 seconds.
Oh, okay.
Because I was feeding off, my dad's really not, he hasn't progressed along that line at all. But, so
from the man with the white wife.
Yeah.
But it was okay.
Right.
For some folks,
50 years ago to have a white wife, but don't be gay.
Most black people are very religious, and it's not good. You can't do that.
Well, my dad's the son of a preacher.
There you go.
So for him, it's he's just anti, but whatever. But he stopped being my favorite uncle for about 30 seconds because I automatically just gravitated towards my dad's prejudices, and I had to sit there and pause and think. What changed in the past 30 seconds that made him took him away from being my favorite uncle? And when the answer was nothing, he went back to being my favorite uncle.
Good idea, yeah.
So but Mama doesn't blow me in the park. She's not blowing me with me on the grass, leaning up against a tree at the park.
What does this have to do?
But I'm saying I'm okay. There's a lot of people that are assuming that the gay population all of a sudden they're going to be blowing each other and eating each other out in the parks and like that. As long as you're not doing, I keep my stuff in the bedroom. You keep your stuff in the bedroom.
No, you don't. You tell everybody about your stuff.
Yes, you do.
Well, okay, I talk about it, but I don't do it.
Oh hell, it's all over Facebook and shit. Damn it.
Okay.
No. You were talking about getting your kids. Should you have that conversation in my life, in my world, with all the kids I have around? We don't ever have to talk about black kids, white kids, Asian kids, because it's just all accepted. Right. The more things that I have to have conversations with the kids is children who are different, like in a wheelchair, or maybe they might be like he acts funny on the playground.
You know what?
Do you wait until they come to you with a question?
Well, and sometimes it's just the circumstance. Like we were in the park one day, and there was obviously a little boy who was like autistic or something. He wasn't. Didn't communicate well, and he walked funny, and I noticed a couple of the kids kind of staring. So, I have the conversation as far as, and then I tie in like, well, you might be black, you might be white, you might be in a wheelchair, you might have a broken leg, and so I tie it all together then as far as everybody's different. But I think we have more of a discussion at my place about children that are different. It has nothing to do with color, just somebody who's different.
Well, you're talking about the gay community. We were just talking about the gay community. And when you guys were reading your little post-its, I showed Sweet Cheeks this because NBC this morning said a transgender 6-year-old who identifies as a female should be allowed to use the girls' bathroom at her elementary school, even though she was born a male. The Colorado Civil Rights Division ruled on Sunday. So, this thing's even going down to elementary school now.
Well, and that has to do with, the whole decision, can a 6-year-old make a decision about their sexuality? And I say they know what they're feeling.
Yeah, they want to wear dresses, they want to wear dresses.
Exactly.
But they could just be, wired for cross-dressing. Who knows?
There's a big controversy about all of that going
Yeah.
on, and how young is too young to start them on hormones.
Well, I think that the reason why is because there's a lot of people who are gay for the shock value,
Yes.
which ruins it for the
we're
people
not talking
that.
about gay. We're talking about transgender.
Okay, well,
either or. Even there are some transgenders that I know that they're not quite gender yet. They haven't changed gender.
Right. So they're transvestites.
Transvestites, I guess,
or cross-dressers.
that I know that do it for the shock value. So
Right.
it's very rare. I think I only know one person that does that, and it's just because they like to see
I think that ties into the they want to be like that. They can choose to be another way. Or they can do this or they can do that. And I think that it's because of the people who do it for the shock value or want to get on somebody's nerves because they said they don't like that or whatever the case may be. I think that's what messes it up for the people that really that's really who truly they are.
Well, I'm not going to call nobody out per se, but it really bothers me that I'm not saying this person's not gay, but it did bother me a lot that this person would go up and say, "Hi, how you doing? My name is so and so. I'm gay." Wow,
they would introduce
really?
themselves that way.
Really? Yeah. I
Yes.
watch this person do this each and every single time and time again. I'm like,
Yes.
wow.
Well, I'm
I
going to
don't
play
walk
the
around-
devil's advocate. You want to know why? Because I've met somebody like that, but it was because when they first came out of the closet, they were just so excited to finally be able to
This one was out of the
say
closet for
a long
years,
time,
decades.
and I would hope that would wear off, but I knew a friend that did that.
Hi,
the
how you
first
doing? My name is
weekend.
so-and-so. I'm gay.
Yeah, because he had to bottle it up for so many years. He was so excited. Eventually that wore off, but you're right. It doesn't. Why would you announce that?
I'm not
Do
saying-
you walk up to people and go, "Hi, I like to lick pussy"?
Right,
I mean,
I'm heterosexual.
Actually, I do. but still.
Vendetta says, "I'm a reformed Republican, and I'm all for bleep marriage." I would assume that's gay marriage.
I would assume.
Why would they bleep
I
that?
don't know. It says censored. Wendy says the U.S. is the only country with different sex restrooms. Some girls have weenies. They need to get over it. If you identify as a gender, then you should be accepted for it. The only thing that I've been reading in the news, the thing that I've been reading in the news that I have a problem with is if you are a child under the care of an adult, then I honestly don't think that until you come to an age of reason, which in America the law is like 18, right, where you could vote. I don't think you should be able to get any hormone treatments or surgery or anything like that until you are of age.
I agree.
Fair.
That if a little boy feels the need to wear pink and to paint his room pink, that you should go with that. But I'm with you until
Now,
yeah.
if they change the age of reason, that's wonderful. But right now, it's 18.
Well, the age of reason is when a child can think for themselves.
When you're no longer under my
13
charge.
bar mitzvahs and things like that usually signify age of reason, usually. What's
What?
8? In what culture? Maybe back in the Viking days.
No, it's 18.
No, no. No, that's just voting age.
Oh, okay.
The age of
Okay, now
reason
what
is
if
when a
what
child
if
comes
this
into his
child
own.
is like going to counseling and going to everything, and that's I mean.
I think that some of that stuff you can't put an age
Because
on.
as a parent, and you're taking your child to counseling, and they're saying all this stuff, and eventually that's just how it's going to be. And so I'm just going to gear up that the boy that I had is going to be a girl,
right.
and that's what makes them happiest, and that's what the counselors have said, and that's what everybody that I have taken, because I'm at this point I'm going to take them to everybody.
Okay, that's called the exception to the rule, though, because as of right now, you can't get married till you're 18. But if you have a parent consent,
Oh, no, you can get married at 16 now.
16 if you have a parent consent.
well, you still need a parent consent. You need a parent to sign off. So I'm saying that yes, on the age of reason. But if you got documentation, you're taking your child to counseling, the counselor's giving you documentation, this child is transgender.
And that's probably why they ruled that baby can go in the girl's bathroom.
Now, if you can say that we've done everything here, not to change the child, but to have this child get counseling to see where
Analyzed.
where they are, and these string of doctors say this child is a transgender.
How fucked up does a child get that they have to go see a string of doctors? So other people can determine whether they're really
When
transgender
you're
or
born a little
not.
boy and you want to be a little girl, I guess you do need to see a string of doctors.
I think Wendy makes a good point with the same-sex restrooms. Vendetta says, we have a no-sex restroom at my college. We fought for it last semester. It was a hard fight with the administration, but we won in the end.
I'm trying to remember. I was someplace the other day.
So what does that mean? That anybody could go in that bathroom?
Okay, wait a minute. I know where I was at. The PLP and I, it was her birthday last weekend, so we went out to the Claim Jumper this week for dinner.
Okay.
And I went to go to the bathroom, and there was a woman's bathroom, a man's bathroom, and a co-ed bathroom. And it was only one stall in each one, but yeah, there was. And I was kind of surprised because you don't see those a lot. At a gas station, maybe. But it was in like a major restaurant.
Mm-hmm.
Husband, wife, family.
I've seen a lot of family restrooms where I've seen a lot of those off to the side family restrooms at different stores and stuff.
We've been talking for like an hour.
We're doing good.
Yeah. We missed our long break, so I'm gonna play the whole Yeller Belly song, our theme song. I'm gonna play the whole song, and then we'll throw in some Big Girls Rock after that, and then we'll be back.
Alrighty. Okay. See you in a minute.
When my girl got the sweetest pussy, nestles in her lap, be the first to admit and wanna stroke that kitten, fell right into her trap. Now all that fur and purring gives me cause to pause. She may have a pretty kitty, but watch out for those claws. Well, I'm calling out, yeah, kitty, kitty. While I'm the one that's ready to pounce, how could such a cute puss be so dangerous? It's a naughty thought that counts. Now all that fur and purring gives me cause to pause. She may have a pretty kitty, but watch out for those claws. Well, cub, you can't well see. Have a little say. Or refuse it and you lose it. Do you think it's back to drink with catnip? Man, bell, 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 do, do. Well, cub, you can't well seize a cocktail, have a little say. Or refuse it and you lose it. Do you think it's back to drink the catnip? Bell, 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 my girl's taking pussy to the groomers. I suggested the Sphinx, while every other breed fulfills my basic needs. I love them hairless and pain. Now all that fur and purring gives me cause to pause. She may have a pretty kitty, but watch out for those claws. She may have a pretty kitty, but watch out for those claws. She may have a pretty kitty, but watch out for those claws.
This is Sierra from the Curvaceous Bounty of Sin City, urging you to adopt, not shop. There are hundreds of thousands of animals out there looking for homes, and you could be their next forever home. Visit your local animal shelter today to find your next family member.
Get connected to your audience with Endeavor Media Group. Find them online at emgnv.com.
Embrace your endeavors and take it to the limit with Endeavor Media Group. Visit them online at emgnv.com.
If you're looking to further your acting, modeling, or athletic career, contact Endeavor Media Group at emgnv.com.
Endeavor Media Group is a sports and entertainment PR firm connecting its clients with audiences everywhere through movies, television, radio, publications, websites, mobile applications, and special events. Visit emgnv.com.
EMG represents clients of all sizes and in a variety of industries. The firm works with companies, organizations, famous individuals, and political groups to advance their interests, manage communication-related matters, promote products and services, handle issues, and mitigate specific problems. Visit Endeavor Media Group online at emgnv.com.
Hi, this is Stacy, the Doxy Diva.
And Sam, host of the new Hot Diggity Dog Show.
Join us Saturdays at 10 a.m. as we talk about various subjects as they relate to dogs, such as health and wellness, training, responsible pet ownership, current news, rescued pets, pet events, and special guests.
So let us educate and entertain you on Saturdays at 10 a.m. here on Vegas All Net Radio.
Let us bring out the dog in you.
Hot dog! We're having a party. Everybody's swinging.
I'm Paige.
And I'm Adele.
And we are
The Pool Party.
A soiree of madness. Tune in every Tuesday night, 7 to 8 p.m. Pacific Time on Vegas All Net Radio.
Are you going to let me say anything at all, or do I just sit here?
Well, go ahead.
Well, okay, well, the show's going to be really fun.
That's
it's
enough.
going to be about
You never know who's going to jump in the pool.
bathing suits not required.
Well, butter my butt and call me a biscuit. I found the funniest thing that I have ever heard since finding out that Grandma found Grandpa in the barn with the goat. It's on VegasOnNetRadio.com. There's some nasty girls on Sin City Bounty. They talk about those things that I'm sure my cousins are doing to each other somewhere, like sex and toys and pornos and vaginas. Oh my. You gotta hear this. I mean, see this. You can get on that thing called a podcast and they'll show you their bras. What would Granny say to that? It's on Sunday night, 7 p.m. SinCityBounty.com.
This guy's out of control. Who authorized this type of music?
He's live and unabashed, playing classic shit.
Don't you say it!
The Kevin Jackson Radio Show.
Listen to The Kevin Jackson Show, 4 to 7 p.m. every Wednesday on VegasOnNetRadio.com. This cowboy here loves riding bareback. Come here, young filly.
Whoa, hold your horses there, stranger. This here filly don't take kindly to sexually transmitted infections, so you'll be wearing a condom if I have to lasso and hog-tie you down. Sexually transmitted infections, or STIs, can lead to discomfort, unpleasant discharges, infertility, and even death. Girls, don't you let some handsome stranger defile your lady parts without some protection. Carry your own condoms and always be prepared. Remember, your body, your choice.
Brought to you by the Curvaceous Bounty of Sin City. Learn more at SinCityBounty.com.
Y'all come back now, you hear?
She got me in this room thinking I feel like shit. Now I'm barely breathing. I know I fucked up. got caught cheating. It's all my fault. Now I'm hardly speaking. What can I do? What can I do to try to save the day? What can I say? What can I say to take the pain away? Don't know why I'm trying. There ain't no words. I remember now. Love fucking hurts.
That's our fabulous Vendetta. Welcome back to the Curvaceous Bounty of Sin City on VegasAllNetRadio.com. Also streaming live at SinCityBounty.com. Hey, we are all over the place. We are on Facebook. We are on Twitter. We are on Tumblr. We are on YouTube, where you can catch lots of episodes, pieces and parts of our last shows, especially like the one with Jess M. Baker was on.
Yeah.
I just rewatched those the other day.
Yeah, that was great.
Yes, and that was like cool show and the most fucked up show at the same time.
Yes.
It was.
It was a really great show. And Silent Mike, with Silent Mike back in the house, we are all in the shot, he said.
Yay!
He's got it, so we are all in the shot.
Hey,
So next time Silent Mike isn't here, let's remember to tell Sierra to set
Take a picture. Take a picture. Picture. Take a picture. Hurry, picture. Hurry, quickly.
That's the way to do it, you know. Take a picture.
You know, I did that one time when I was younger. Me and a friend of mine we always used to go down on the strip. And so a lot of times there's a lot of Asian people down on the strip and they're taking picture. So we joked about that. We always used to say that. So we're at Disneyland and her and I, we look at somebody, oh, come on, let's take a picture. And they corrected us. They said, no, picture. And they said it a different way.
That's funny. Let me tell you, I want to tell you a couple of stories. So we were talking about before this big long break, we were talking about racism and Paula Deen and stuff like that. Now I put the question out on Twitter and Facebook: Paula Deen, old or racist? Okay, so let me give you those answers first. From Chris Eiffel, that writer guy that likes us so much, he says, if those are my only two choices, I would have to say old. It doesn't excuse the way she acted and what she said in the least.
I agree. Old.
I'd still do her.
You know, a lot of chubby chasers got a thing for Paula Deen.
That's right. And then on
he likes Ina Garten too, the barefoot Contessa.
Man.
He likes her.
And then on Twitter,
you got issues too.
on Facebook, Curvy Girl Lingerie says both. It seems. I mean, I know people from her age group grew up at a different time, but even then, you had to know that disrespecting other people like that was not okay.
Right.
So let me tell you a couple stories. Number one was when I was 12, I fell in love. Well, I didn't fall in love. I was approached by a young black man who wanted to give me a gift. And he bought me this really gaudy gold necklace with a bunch of stones on it. It was really pretty. And I think I had it for a really long time, even after out of high school and everything. And we went to lunch one day. He was really nice. He bought me a gift. So I said, well, I'm going to go to lunch with this kid. You know, with this guy. He wasn't a kid back then. So we were holding hands as we were walking to the cafeteria, because I lived on an Air Force base and the cafeteria was way far away from the school. And so we would walk, and my dad saw us. And remember I told you my dad is Puerto Rican, almost black. One of my uncles looks like he's a black man with the hair and everything. My dad had the straight hair, but he was really dark skinned. And my dad was livid. He tore me away from the boy.
How old were you?
12.
Okay.
Threw me into the car. I got a spanking when I got home, and I was told never to date a black man, black kid.
Really?
Okay. So my dad's family, well, they grew up in Brooklyn, so you know there was the wars, I guess, between the blacks and the Puerto Ricans, or I don't know. I have no idea. We never talked about it. So there's that story. So that was one stage of prejudice in my family. My mom and I were driving home from work one day. My mom is a little tiny old Asian woman. Well, she wasn't old at the time, but I was driving the car and I had my sunglasses on, and these two skinny meth head looking white girls in a convertible 65 Mustang, classic redneck kind of girls with the string tops, you know, and the little booty shorts and stuff. They're sitting at the light. We're sitting in the turn lane, and they scream across the 3 lanes, "Why you hanging out with a chink?"
Oh, wow.
And I was in disbelief at first, and I said, "Excuse me, what did you say?" And of course my diction is very American, because I grew up American. And they said, "Why you hanging out with a chink?" So I put down my glasses because my eyes are slanted. I pulled down my sunglasses. I said, "Oh, so funny. Can I take a picture?" They cursed me up one downside the street and down the other. It was so
That's good.
funny.
Yeah.
So
that's
funny.
good.
Well, I just hope racism's going by the wayside because I've literally had to. It was my oldest daughter. I think it was. No. I think it was with my 8-year-old son. I'm trying to remember who it was. It was one of my kids. I was fighting with.
When you have too many, you don't remember
I
which
have a
one
lot
it
of
is.
kids,
Just
sorry.
saying.
Yeah, but I was fighting with the hospital administration over nationality.
Yes, it's the 8-year-old. Yes.
Yeah, the 8-year-old. No, I was fighting. They told me I had to pick this one, and I was just in such disbelief that they were telling me what I had to name my child and how I had to label them, and that was just, to me, is the biggest fucking.
They've now since we had the other one, they now let you choose other.
You can choose other, and they also have addiction for multiples.
But we had to, with the 8-year-old, we actually had to call Carson City and get an okay approval for us to be able to put other on his birth certificate. And they finally allowed it.
Now, my dad is of the addiction where if you are half black, then you are black. That's just the way it is, period.
Well, scientifically speaking, if you're half black, you're black because black is the dominant gene.
You know what?
If you saw my ass, you would say bullshit.
My Southern father that grew up in Kentucky, when President Obama was running, and my little guy was little. Okay, so we were all this whole mixed thing. And my dad's question to me was, and of course my dad is very Democratic and a Democrat, and he says, "Why do they always say he's a black man? His mother was white." And I said, "Dad, that's because society
has decided
that he's a black man."
And I'll tell you, it's going to be because of the forward thinking of today's youth is when racism is going to disappear.
You're right.
It's going to be a progression. It has to be a progression.
It's going to take slower in the South than it is in the North. It just is, because the South still has a lot of those burden crosses on.
You got some places up north too.
Yeah, well, I'm just saying in general, they're still using the N-word all over the place. Some places down.
So I just.
And then California too. It doesn't.
Yeah.
It doesn't.
No, it is though.
North,
it is.
South.
It is. But it is in the South. It's just the way they were brought up to use those words that the rest of us feel are offensive.
Right. But now there's a new generation of people raising kids, and again, soon there'll be another generation of people raising kids.
Well, the 15% that are now mixed are going to grow up, and they're going to multiply, so it's not going to be 15% no more.
Well, according to a few science scholars, I do science in the morning, every morning, so I find out cool things to tweet. And
I like my science.
There is a lot of science scholars that do believe that the entire human race will be a mixed. There will be no race in the future, and we're talking, hundreds and hundreds of years.
And I'm way okay with that.
You know what? I think it's already there. To an extent, it's already there. I mean,
the groundwork is laid.
No. You'd have a hard time finding a pure Russian.
Oh,
because the guy from Greece made it with the girl from Russia, and those are two different regions with two different DNA strands. Mm-hmm. Despite the fact that they're both Caucasian. Sorry.
No, you're right. You're absolutely right.
Vendetta says Bostonians are still very racist. That's all Irish people, though.
They shouldn't be at all, because they were the first people that they had a problem with. That people, when they started coming, the Irish people was the first people that they had a problem with.
Actually, the Vikings were actually the first for integrating nationalities, because their way of conquering was to breed themselves into the community.
Well, the Vikings also, women had rights in the ancient Viking days until the church took over.
They had rights, but they also, but when they conquered a land, the way that they kept that land was by breeding themselves into the community.
Damn straight.
So yeah, well, that's how you do it.
Romans did the same thing.
Yes, they did. But I just have an issue because I don't like being labeled as anything. If someone says, "Oh, well, you must be black," I say,
yeah,
well,
but that is the way the world is until you do something to change it.
But what about my Portuguese background? Now, I mean, for someone tells me I have to choose this, they have to deny. I can trace my German heritage to I think it's 1756.
Yes, his grandmother was very into ancestry. We have a video of her talking about where they all went back to. So yeah, he knows about all that stuff.
Back to Montana, and I forgot the surname, but I got Portuguese, from the Hawaiian Islands. I got German.
On that show, that show used to be on Who Am I, or they have the stars like track their lineage, and I thought it was awesome. Like, you can do a blood test now, and they can tell you, you're 15% Irish, you're 10% German, or what they call is European, you're 5% black, whatever. But they can percent you down to what you're.
We were just recently.
I believe Paula Deen was on that. Where do you come from on PBS, where they do your genetic testing to find out where you come from.
PBS won't invite her back now.
Well, they did the whole genetic testing on her, and they found out that she does have.
Oh, I bet she does, because, like I said,
slave blood in her blood.
Exactly. I would love to have that genetic test.
I would too, just for the fact of because I was adopted and I don't know what I am.
I'm not adopted.
We know what you are. You're ghetto.
Shut up.
My father.
That's not a nationality,
was born in the
That's
South,
an attitude.
but I know there's Irish. We have an Irish maiden name is Coffee. I mean, my brother went to the village in Ireland where that name came from. I have the family crest. And I also know that there's some American Indian in us. And because it's from the South and in Kentucky, I'm sure there's a little black running through my veins somewhere. But I would love to know. Yeah.
Well, I looked up.
I bet
it's
that
getting
test
cheaper.
is expensive.
It's getting cheaper.
I bet it's expensive.
I looked up because after St. Patrick's Day, I actually know my biological mother's last name. And so I looked up the origin of the last name, and it actually said that it's Irish. So I should have been making my potatoes and
this is how my
corned beef and cabbage.
Corned beef and cabbage.
Somebody told us the other day that because our daughter has a very, very unique type of red hair that she has, that I haven't looked up the facts on this yet, but he said that in order for a person to have that color of red, both parents have to have the red gene in their DNA.
No, I'm going to tell you something about redheads and DNA. And I was a bio major in college. Redheads, if you look on the DNA ladder, to create a redhead is actually an error on the DNA ladder.
Oh, so she was a mistake.
Well,
no,
not that she was a mistake.
She was
the way the color works.
I wasn't going to sleep.
That's how the redheads were created. It's actually something off on the DNA ladder. Then, of course, it's hereditary after that.
Yeah.
But if you just have a kid, there's no redhead in the family, there's something wrong with the DNA.
Well, he got his from his Indian grandmother on his father's side.
Right.
Is who had the red hair, and the guy that we were talking to, his daughter had exactly the same color redhead as little mama. Mm-hmm. Exactly the same.
You cannot buy it in a bottle red.
Right. For sure you can.
And this little girl was probably about twice her age. And I was like, yeah, she gets the red hair from her dad. He's like, that's where you're wrong. He's like, because we did a history thing because his daughter has the red hair, and it said that both the parents have to have that gene in order to get the child with red hair.
Is there any redheads in your family?
You know what's really funny?
She's adopted.
I was adopted, so I don't really know my family. But my adopted father has red hair.
Okay.
Then
you probably have that in your DNA profile.
Well, they're my adopted family that I got adopted into. Is what I'm saying. They're not biologically connected to me, but yes, my father had red hair. My sister has red hair. It skipped around, and so my niece's kids, 2 of them have the red hair. And the little girl, my niece's little girl, so she's my great niece. One day I pulled up the picture.
So I'm listening to this, and
are you trying to follow along?
No. I'm just listening. I'm just got the science going in my head because I know about recessive genes and dominant genes, and the red is a recessive gene that sometimes just pops up, right? And they're sneaky little fuckers. They come up there. Maybe that's why Irish people are picked on all the time, because they're sneaky little fuckers. They just pop up there all the time.
But
sorry.
Anyway, so
I'm not a natural redhead, so I don't care.
My little she's my great niece, I guess she is.
I'm a true redhead.
I showed the picture one day of her, and little mama looked. She's like, when was I there? So they look alike. So that's what's even more weird is how we all look alike, even though we're not biologically connected. It's really weird.
Yeah.
Yeah. When Mama got with me, she was just curious. because the top of my head's like brownish red when I let it grow out. You know, I got a burgundy beard. I got black eyebrows. My arm hairs are blonde. My leg hairs are brown.
You know what's very interesting? As light as you are for you're a mixed man, and you guys could have had a baby that was like dark, yeah,
Right.
real dark, yeah.
Well, his one sister, she's one of the darker girls, and her husband is Hispanic, and she's got.
You're talking about the Hershey bar.
Yes.
Oh, I seen him. Wasn't he at your house?
Yes.
That little
Yeah.
boy.
Yes.
Oh yeah, he's
But you see how dark. You see how dark he is.
chocolate.
But if you look at his features, he doesn't look like he's black. He looks a Mexican or the Hispanic look. He looks like his father. He looks Hispanic. The little girl is lighter, the father's color. But if you look at her features, she looks like she has the black features.
See, I love that.
It's so funny.
Yeah, my family, we're not wondering if it's going to look like favorite mom or favorite dad. We're trying to figure out what kind of hair color. What's the hair texture going to be like? Is it going to be light skin, dark skin?
Yeah.
How light skin? How dark skin? Is it
well,
going to tan? Is it going to burn?
Well, the one that you saw at the house, and then my son, the 8-year-old, they're I think a month apart. So one day we had DJ, one in one arm and one in the other one, and I was like, I took a video and I was like, look, light, medium, dark.
So we got a couple more comments on Facebook for Paula Deen, older racist. David Campbell says a little bit of both and a lot of who really gives a fuck. Nothing to see here people move along.
Amen. I agree.
Do you agree? I think it should be something for discussion. Just like we've been talking for like an hour and a half about it. So
You know
what? I think
it's going to be just like Martha. It'll be swept under the table.
I think this has been a very humbling experience for her. And you talking about we need to learn through progression. This was enough of a spanking to where I think she's learned her lesson.
I hope so.
And I think that she's going to watch her P's and Q's so she can get her face back on the table. You know, she's going to be all apologetic all the hell.
She was. She apologized 3 times in 3 different video clips.
You know what?
And
I
nobody
don't think
likes
it's
them.
fair.
I don't think she's
I don't think it's fair for somebody to tell somebody else I don't believe you because you're not sympathetic or you're not empathetic.
Everybody talks some way different. You know,
the woman got on there and she did it 3 different times. I think she's really trying to say, I am sincerely sorry. And who is anybody else to say, oh, she's faking it? Fuck you.
And then Kevin Porter on Facebook says both. She's been making her bed for a long time now, planning a traditional Southern wedding by specifying an all-black waitstaff indicates Paula Deen suffers from a crippled soul.
No, she doesn't. She suffers from living in the South.
That's no excuse.
It's like Gone with the Wind.
Well,
it's Gone with the Wind, right?
Yes,
Gone with the Wind. Maybe that's her favorite movie.
Staff. I think that if you're trying to, you want a wedding, a Southern plantation wedding, like it happened in the Gone with the Wind days, and your bridesmaid are in them dresses, and your brides are in those dresses, to have that authentic feel, why not? It's just like you having a wedding.
Because it perpetuates the idea that slavery is a good thing.
It's not slavery. She's paying them people.
No. But she is emulating the slavery period.
But
the period when there were slaves who waited on you hand in hand.
But
whether she pays them or not, I understand it's part of history. If you're doing a movie, that's one thing because you're portraying it, and usually
weddings are about atmosphere.
Okay, but what if
weddings are a lot about atmosphere?
It perpetuates the idea that slavery.
And
was
I
a
don't
good
think
thing.
anybody cares if they're who's handing them their glass of champagne, and if they want that feel at their wedding, I say go ahead.
But in the end, whoever it is that she hires for this wedding, it's their choice to be there to get paid for this wedding.
Exactly.
And if they do not have a problem with it in order to get paid, then why should anybody else?
So,
I agree. It's like being in a movie. It's like being in a movie. It's like being in a show.
But do you think she would say when they come to the hiring, when they come to the interview, we are trying to recreate the days of Gone with the Wind when slaves waited on the tables. Are you okay with that? Yes. But do you think she would say that up front, that this is what I want to hire you for, to recreate
I think
for a wedding?
I think if she's smart, I think she would. She would lay it out. This is what I'm looking for. This is what I'm doing. This is what I want. And whoever the coordinator is, because obviously it's not going to be her doing it herself.
I would mention that in the ad I put out to hire the people. we're looking to do an
Well,
authentic
just like you.
turn of the century, or whatever the century is, wedding, and we're looking for something that would look like a traditional wait staff, looking for African Americans.
So does that mean?
and I disagree.
So
that's like Sweet Cheeks going to do her thing. When she goes to go strip at the bachelor parties and stuff like that. Is she offended because they know they hire her specifically
they
for
hire
her look
me because I'm
and
fat.
what she does and the gag that she pulls off for the
she knows everything up
Yes.
front.
Yes.
Everything up front.
Yes.
So if I were a black woman and I was going to be hired for this wedding, do you really think Paula Deen would say, "I'm hiring you to be a slave, to play a slave at a wedding"? Number two. And if they want to call you nigger, you have to be able to deal with that.
That's not what was said.
Well,
you're crossing a whole different line.
Okay,
you're saying
but think about it. You have to say massa. You have to say all the things that comes with that era.
But that's
is
not what
included.
it said. But that's not
no,
what
it's
that's
not what
was
it said.
said.
I'm
then
not
you turn the
saying-
whole table. If somebody said, "Okay, I want you to work this wedding. You're a black person and you're gonna wait tables." I'm good. But if you turn around and said I was going to be called these names, and that, let's not put that out there.
That's different.
The possibility of getting called those names, and then you would have to address.
But you're not condoning that as the person putting on the wedding, that your people are going to call them that, okay? And I mean, I don't think we should put that out there because Paula Deen is not asking.
But there is going to be the asshole that comes to that wedding who says, "Oh, she's got all black people waiting the tables." Pretended to be slaves. I bet you I could.
See, I would never, personally, in 100 years, say pretending to be slaves. I would think, okay, the wait staff is black. She's paying them. Oh well, give me my drink. But to think like, oh, she wants them to pretend
this is
like
traditional.
They're
They're really doing this like old plantation style. They're not saying, oh, look at all the slaves we have here. What they're saying is, we are really, really going Gone with the Wind because Gone with the Wind is my future daughter-in-law's favorite movie of all time, and they really gave her that Gone with the Wind wedding.
Yeah, we're at a southern plantation.
This?
Yeah.
Can you believe that we are on we rented out this cotton plantation, and we got this old traditional house, and we have this wonderful
garden.
serving
the old traditional food.
I just think it's a slippery slope, that's all. It opens the door.
I think you're opening the door wider than it really would.
I think if she's smart,
open.
she's gonna spell it all out.
I agree.
And tell them what they're getting into. And if they choose to accept that job and get paid for it, then that's like doing any other movie or any kind of period things what they do or
I thought Sweet
any
Cheeks,
kind of sets and
Sweet
stuff like
Cheeks
that.
just said something, and I thought, she says, well, African American, and I thought it was really interesting because Bill Cosby was recently, well, maybe not recently, but he got caught saying, what's this African American crap? There is no African American. You're just American. You take a black man, send him back to Africa, he wouldn't survive. There is no German American. You don't, because the German Americans, you send them back to Germany, they wouldn't know what to do in Germany. They're not Germans. They're Americans.
Well, you're not sending anybody back. It's what they are.
I know, but American is American, and the sooner we get rid of the appetite as far as...
We're not going to get rid of that for several generations because there still is such a... the mixing pot isn't mixed enough.
Right.
Yeah.
Wendy of Neverland.
Mine's jambalaya. I mean,
Wendy of Neverland says it will take a long time for full mixing in China and India. That's straight.
Fair. Well, those are very, very prejudiced countries. Very prejudiced countries.
They like fat chicks, though.
Well, they're considered part of Asia. I told you that already.
Well, no, but don't call it China. Don't call someone Chinese, Japanese.
Oh no. That's
not what we're talking about.
Yeah, no, we're talking about that. You're gonna have to import a lot of black people into China before
exactly to integrate
to mix the race, right? Then she says gingers are mutants. What? Because you guys were talking about gingers. Then she says, okay, here's a question, sort of related. Should Disney release Song of the South?
Yes.
It's
history. You can't deny that the slave times and the whole Kunta Kinte thing and going to Africa and bringing the slaves back didn't happen.
I'm not saying that you have to.
It did happen. Why not teach the children that?
What's that?
Why not release Song of the South?
I'll tell you what's sad. I'll tell you what's sadder still. I mean, I know it's recent history. That's why it's more so prevalent. But using blacks as slaves is actually the smallest part of humanity's history, because slaves were the neighbors that you conquered, and you might have been the same color skin. But I mean, going back to biblical times, I mean, honestly, slaves were when you got into war with somebody you won, those people became your slaves, even if they had the same color skin.
There are slaves today, but that's.
I mean,
it's wrong. We all know that owning another person is wrong, whether it's today or back then.
We evolved.
Isn't Song of the South about freeing the slaves?
I don't think I've ever seen it.
I think there's parts of it in there about the whole freeing of
Mama's
freeing
about
of
to
the
look.
slaves.
She says, Wendy says, it's an interesting question, especially for folks who have never seen it. And then she says, Song of the South is not nearly as bad as Gone with the Wind.
Right.
And then we have Whitney51 in chat who says, true on that.
Yeah. So
Wendy says, no, it's post-Civil War. Song of the South is after the Civil War.
Okay. So the slaves are freed at that point.
Sort of.
Well,
I don't know the story, so I don't know.
No, after the Civil War, the slaves were free. However, the slaves were given the option to stay on the plantations they were at and work it and live in the houses with pay. They were still, but because they had nothing else to do. They were given their land and they could work it as, a payment to the landowner, but they were technically free people.
Okay. I don't know anything about it.
I think I've seen this movie. I guess they're going to
Into the mic, please.
Like this morning.
Oh, stop. So
Uncle Remus and his stories. Look, you probably know it. Look.
Oh, yeah. Oh, they're releasing that one. They're not filming.
Into the mic, please.
I think it's a new. They're re-releasing.
They want to re-release it. Yes.
Okay.
Yes, I know this movie.
I mean, let's talk about Disney. Disney has the Aladdin.
We have a half hour left.
I know. We haven't done catch-ups.
Catch-ups.
All right, let's do that. We're done talking race.
Okay.
We're done.
Let's take a quick break.
All right.
Very quick break.
Very quick break. You've been listening to the Curvaceous Bounty of Sin City on Vegas All Net Radio. We'll be right back. See the award-winning Curvaceous Bounty of Sin City and your favorite BBW porn stars at BBW Fan Fest 2013, July 26th, 27th, and 28th at the Tuscany Hotel and Casino, Las Vegas, Nevada. For more information, go to BBW Fan Fest on Facebook.
Hi, this is Atomic April live from Las Vegas, and I'm proud to announce the premiere of Atomic April's Radio Glam every Friday, 12 to 1 p.m. Pacific Standard Time on VegasAllNetRadio.com. I'll be talking beauty tips, salon secrets, and tricks of the trade, and how to make your life a little more glamorous one sparkle at a time. I'll have special guests, contests, and giveaways, so listen online to Atomic April's Radio Glam every Friday from 12 to 1 p.m. on Vegas All Net Radio. Until then, stay sparkling.
This is Alexia from the Curvaceous Bounty of Sin City radio show. Join myself and the ladies every Sunday night at 7 p.m. Pacific, 10 p.m. Eastern for real talk about real stories with real people. That's Sundays at 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time on your computers at VegasAllNetRadio.com because they won't let us on regular radio.
Hi, I'm DJ Tim Dope. Come join us every Saturday night at 6 p.m. PDT, 9 p.m. EDT for my new show, Pure Dope Radio, here on Vegas All Net Radio. We'll be having fun addressing the issues with special guests each week. So I'll see you at 6 p.m. PDT, 9 p.m. EDT, Saturday on the show, Pure Dope Radio on Vegas All Net Radio.
Follow your favorite BBW porn stars on Twitter. Find them all at bbwgirltweet.com. Welcome back. You're listening to the Curvaceous Bounty of Sin City on VegasAllNetRadio.com. The final frontier of free speech, where we can say whatever the fuck we want. Follow us on Twitter, Facebook, all that good shit.
All that good shit.
All that good shit, Mama.
It is good shit. I went on Tumblr this week. Wendy was surprised. Whoa.
We're not on Farmer's Dreams yet, or knitting, crocheting.
Sierra 100s. Is on the knitter rabble.
You know what? Last week we missed your catch up, so you start this week.
I Don't have anything this week.
Oh.
It's been a slow week.
I'm sorry.
I already kind of told all mine. So.
Yeah, I have been so
I've
busy.
been busy, but I have busy catching.
I have been so busy. I did find a place where I could eat pizza.
Oh.
Because for those of you who don't know, I had a gallbladder attack about a month ago, and I discovered that I have a very large gallstone. Oh. And just so everybody knows, if you have extreme pain for long periods of time, you may have a gallstone. I was in the hospital for 12 hours.
It's terrible.
And what triggers it is fatty foods. And I had, what was it that triggered it? It was the taquitos off the grill at 7-Eleven, which are greasy things. I had it for breakfast, and because they're really good.
Because they're greasy. But
it sent me to the hospital, and so I have been on a low-fat, fat-free diet for the last month, and I haven't had pizza in a month. At least a month. I think it's been more than a month.
Next time, talk to me.
Did they use low-fat cheese and stuff? On
no, actually, I looked up on Google on my iPhone, because I can do that because I'm savvy like that. I looked up fat content for a slice of pizza. So a slice of pizza from Pizza Hut, a vegetarian, I like vegetarian anyway, which is great,
right,
is only 14 grams of fat. Okay? So, and I know most of that is the cheese.
Right.
So all I asked for was very little cheese.
Oh, light cheese. Yeah,
light
good
cheese.
idea.
So I went to, there's this place, I'm going to give it a shout out because it was really good. And it's a really old place. It's one of the classic places here in town. It's called the Tap House Bar and Grill.
Oh, okay.
Over off of Charleston, in between Jones and Decatur.
I've never ate there, but I've seen that.
We have to go.
By
it's Italian American club.
Yeah.
Parmesan cheese. Look it up. Look on the back of that.
Well,
we have to go. We'll have to go because Silent Mike ordered the linguine, which he always the Alfredo, the
fettuccine
Alfredo, which he orders every time we go to an Italian place because he has to try it. And I think it's the best fettuccine Alfredo in town that he's found so far.
I wouldn't say it's the best.
It's not the best.
Who has the best, Silent Mike?
He was very impressed.
Okay.
Very impressed.
And it doesn't look like much from the outside.
No.
And I always see they have advertising specials and stuff.
And it is a smoking bar. It's a restaurant bar. So, and the restaurant is right there by the bar. So so if you can't handle the smoke, then don't go. But yeah, and I got a little personal pizza, and it was so good. Oh my God. It was great. It was great. But Silent Mike has been busy this week. I've been training all week, hours and hours a day. There's a couple days where I had like 11, 12-hour days.
Wow.
So nothing's going on in my life right now. Just as much sleep as possible, which is not enough.
I hear you.
So that's my catch-up.
Okay, I'll do mine.
Into the mic.
I got to lap dance the most beautiful black man last night. Oh. Not the whole room, but over half the room was beautiful black men. I mean, I even thought, like, am I in here with a pro athlete? Like, these are some fine-looking brothers up in here. There was white guys, too, but, you know.
There was a couple of them. She didn't pay no attention. But
no, it was great. It was at the MGM, and I had a huge hip night. I have huge hips, too. I'm telling you, the boy, like, I got to feel his pickle. I was riding him, you know.
Ooh.
I was naked. He had his pants on, but I'm like, and he was so in. You guys, I've never had a bachelor so into it. Okay, and he's like playing with my tits, and I go, I know all you brothers in this room. You like some girl with a little junk in the trunk, and they're all laughing, and yeah, he was like. I mean, I had to get off of him because I'm thinking this boy is way too into this.
Ooh.
Yeah, he was really into
ready to
it.
pop out of those pants, right?
Yeah. So anyway, I had a great time. It was a great party.
You would have to change your title.
What title would that be?
Instead of BBW stripper, you'd be BBW adult entertainer.
Right?
I give you a very happy ending. So then I went over to BBW Club Las Vegas. Do you guys remember Ponytail Dude? That I was seeing.
Yes.
He was there last night.
He was like Middle Eastern or something,
yes,
right?
He was there last night. He had been in and out of the country.
The Oh My God guy?
No.
See, I need a.
This was from Plush when it was over at the Alexis Park.
Exactly, that's where we met.
Wow, that's a long time ago.
Yeah, and we had hooked up a few times, and then I seen him at the Bash 2 years ago, but anyway, he see me, and he just knew I was going home with him last night. Just knew I was going home, and I'm like, no, I'm tired. No, I know me, and I'm like, I'll go to your house and fall asleep. No, I'll keep you awake. No, I'm not going. So anyway, had a great time. I seen Batman this week. He was back in town, and so I got to get some wonderful toys again this week. Batman and I have a good time.
Did he buy those toys for you? This is a conversation that I was having with somebody this week.
but I do know that he washes. He has the special soap.
Okay, I do. No. Because that's what I said. You know, they make a special soap just for that kind of
he
stuff.
has the special soap, and I know they probably he's putting them in the same. So we've discussed all of that. Okay,
I knew you would have.
Hell no, you ain't be using somebody else's pussy juice on me. No. So I had a great time going to see Batman. You guys, this is so funny. No lie. I got random phone numbers from men in my phone. People I met on Craigslist, people I met on Plenty of Fish, people I met on Facebook. 3 men this week, I get a text. Do you do porn? I seen a girl on the internet that looks just like you. Yeah, that was me. So, and then this week coming up, tomorrow night, I have a hot tub date with, do you remember the businessman I told you? Remember we went to dinner and we haven't been able to hook up? I really don't know where he's coming from. Anyway, I got a hot tub date with him tomorrow night.
A hot tub where?
At his house.
Oh.
I have 2 movie dates this week. One with my grandson on Tuesday to see Monsters University, and another movie date on Wednesday night with a friend of ours.
Are you going Tuesday night or Tuesday morning?
Tuesday night. I have to go because of my job. I can't do that. So, but I think the Fiesta Henderson has movies all day Tuesdays for like $5-6 or something. It's like a special day. So, So I'm busy. I'm happy. Anytime I can get out of my fucking house, I get out. So that's what I'm doing. That's my week.
Cool.
What up, Mama?
We already kind of talked about mine, just doing the exercise and stuff like that.
Yeah. Did you? I was busy trying to get the Ustream to work, which I can't seem to do. So I'm gonna have Mike train me again on what it is that I'm doing wrong. So this is more than once I've seen this whole have sex in the morning, go for a walk thing.
It actually happened twice this week on Thursday and Friday, and we walked like 1.14 miles, and so. And then I didn't get to do, I didn't do Saturday because Saturday was a super long day, and some of it I kind of wanted to miss. I just wanted to go to sleep, and then today I messed up and took my water pill, and I'm not going to pee on myself yet. I got to wait a few more years for that.
Depends.
So.
I got some of those at the house too.
So, but other than that, last week when we went to the movies with Platinum and Jezebel and Jessica, we ended up going to Platinum and Desiree's house afterwards. So we were talking about the whole waxing thing and doing all that shit. So I knew I was doing a lot of stuff on Saturday, and it was kind of late, and DJ usually does my wax for me. I don't let him do my eyebrows, but I let him do all the rest. And he went to sleep. And so I remembered our conversation about doing the Nair. Well, just to let you know, don't use Nair that doesn't say for your face. If it does not say for use on your face, do not use it there. Because I used it on my face and left it on the minimum of 3 minutes and burned my whole face.
Ouch.
And it is still hurting right now. And I still have the hair that I wanted to remove. And I'm burnt. So, good thing is, though, I remembered little mama burned her fingers on light bulb, a black light bulb. Actually, she'll argue you down and tell you it was purple, but that's a whole another story. And we took her to the doctor, and they gave her some silver sulfamide, whatever cream. And I remember that, and I put it on, and it took the pain away. But my lips were all swole, looking like I got Botox or something. Free Botox. Well, you go with it. But yeah, don't do that. Don't. If it doesn't say you can put it on your face, even if it says bikini line and you think that's a sensitive area and it's okay, it's not. So that was my lesson of the week.
That's good advice, Mama.
Yeah, that was my beauty lesson of the week. Do not put that shit on your face. So, but yeah, other than that, I got water aerobics tomorrow, 10 a.m. If anybody wants to go, you know my Facebook or whatever. I don't know. What do you want to do your catch up? You want to do a catch up?
Yeah, you know what I'd like you to do catch up is last time you were in here was right when you got off the hospital, and you have been to see your doctor since then. So give us an update.
Give us an update on that.
I got a partial release from my doctor to start training again. He said I can go ahead.
No, he said not. He didn't say you could train. He said you could do small amounts of exercising if you wanted to. Small amounts.
We have the story and the translator.
Yes,
right here in studio.
Yes.
So I've been taking it easy, being really, really cautious about overdoing it. And there's been a couple of days off I've taken off because I felt a little funny. But for the most part, I haven't gotten on my bike, and I'm doing somewhere between, I pedal for an hour, and I'm doing somewhere between 16 to 18 miles on a bike, which for me is scaling back. If you see my post where I'm doing 40, 50, 70-mile rides, 18 miles for me is just around the block.
Well, that's just to my house and back.
Yes.
And
just to cruise it.
And the problem is, and why he only got partial or a little bit of clearance, is 2 weeks after. It was 2 weeks after your heart attack. When we went to the doctor for the follow-up. And we go in there, and the doctor has none of his paperwork.
What the fuck is that?
Right. So he
I'm gonna correct that.
Go transport your own paperwork.
I'm going to make sure I do that. But I did get partial clearance, and I have been back in the pool. He says I'm not allowed to swim miles, so I haven't been swimming miles. I've been swimming half-mile increments.
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
When somebody of a young age says to me, I had a heart attack, or I hear somebody having a heart attack, my mind puts that, I don't want to say it kind of puts them in a different category, or it's like, my question to you is, how do you feel about saying I had a heart attack?
I have a different, that's all, you might call that a different part of my catch up. It's been very humbling. Is because I do live well. If this was 3 years ago or 5 years ago, I would understand, because
you weren't as healthy as you are.
No,
now,
I wasn't. Yeah, I was a wreck.
Right.
So I get it.
You knock shit loose, working on it all the time.
No. I was. I did that. I forgot about that. But I was still living very, very unhealthy. But it was. I've.
Does it make you feel weak to say to people I had a heart attack?
No, it doesn't.
Okay.
It doesn't. I have a lot of humility. I'm very grateful about things. Well, I have a lot more humility now. I'm very grateful for my life. I died twice.
Yeah.
Okay. It was hard for me to realize that I died twice. And some, I've had some people give me advice about this, that, and the other, but and this is actually some of the challenges Mom and I are running into, and we're dealing with them. Is that is a patience thing. I'm notorious for knowing for my patience. My patience is infinite, but I find myself now post heart attack less patient, because I'm finding myself life is way too short to waste life is way too short to sit here and to hope that someday about this or someday about that, and that's,
and you want it now.
Well, I'm not looking for instant gratification. I just know that I don't want to spend the rest of my life on certain things, or
saying woulda, shoulda, coulda.
Woulda, shoulda, coulda.
Right.
And it's just it's my own personal struggle right now, and so this heart attack has caused both positive. It's caused a major change in my life. I'm not going to say it's positive. I'm not saying positive or negative. it just is what it is.
Well, and quickly, Mom and I had the conversation this week as far as the two of you, where you came from, where it was almost harder on her. I mean, you were the one that died twice, but you were out for 3 or 4 days. She was, oh my God, this is the person I love. I don't want to raise my children alone. I love being with him. And so she had a whole revolution about her love for you. And then, but on the other hand, your thinking is, oh my God, life is too short and let's do this. So we were just talking in general, and I was saying your two ideas or your two thought, when you think back on the whole ordeal, come from two totally different places.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yes, and I get that.
Yeah.
I get that. Oh, and I'm very, very grateful that my meds are having less of an effect on me.
Oh, so we're getting wood.
I found wood. I found
Mama, what's going on with you?
Just listening to
it's still emotional for her.
It is.
It's not even a month. It's not even. It's only a few weeks ago. And
2, right?
Yeah.
I think we're going into the 3rd week now. And it's.
But I'll tell you a funny story. My friend,
it's the other day we were watching the movie Riddick, and they always joke that he looks like Vin Diesel, and in one of the movies he has some kind of attack that he just starts shaking, and I just started crying, and I was like, and this because that's what I saw.
To the two different places they both came from during that whole idea. But a funny story. My girlfriend has. She kept following. My friend with the little boy. Anyway, she has a really bad heart, and she's under medication. I'm getting a medical alert basic, and I'm going to say, put me on chill down. Put me on deep freeze.
We got interviewed this week as well. She's for the View / from the Review Journal. The View, and is she actually from the Review Journal?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, they're doing a story on the chest compression only CPR for the fire department and trying to get the word out and whatever. And they actually did a phone interview with us. So that's actually going to come out in the middle or to the end of July.
Make sure we know so we can put links all over our stuff.
We will find it out, and we'll get copies and whatever else. So we got to do all that. So that was kind of cool that happened this week too.
Well, I want to thank everybody for tuning in.
Show.
I know it was calm.
And was off the cuff, but we didn't really plan the direction.
Well, we did have a guest, but she never got back to me. I've been messaging her all week. I bet you all my emails are in her spam folder. So, do we know who we have next week?
No, we were just discussing that at break.
Next week we did not actually have a guest set up for that week yet. But we're going to move some people around because we have Jeremy that wants to come on the show. And
in a couple weeks, right?
Yeah. We're going to work on it this week and move some people around.
Thank you, everyone in chat. Thank you for everyone on Facebook and Twitter who answered our Paula Deen old or racist. Racist and old. I agree. She's both. This is Alexia.
Mama.
Sweet Cheeks. And Sierra not here.
Wishing you all a good night. And remember,
fuck often.
The Curvaceous Bounty of Sin City Radio Show is brought to you by VegasAllNetRadio.com, the final frontier of free speech. Get your own damn show. By BBW Fan Fest 2013, July 26th, 27th, and 28th in fabulous Las Vegas. Visit bbwfanfest.com. By Curve Media Inc. Look good in your photographs. By EMGNV.com. Connect with your audience. Contact Endeavor Media Group for all your public relations needs. And by BBWGirlTweet.com. Follow all your favorite BBW porn stars on Twitter.
We're having a party. Everybody's swinging.
I'm Paige.
And I'm Adele.
And we are
The Pool Party.
A soiree of madness. Tune in every Tuesday night, 7 to 8.